The Habs come into Saturday night and completely decimate one of the bottom feeders in the league, Columbus. RHP gets a hat trick in one period, Suzuki with 4 points, Matheson with 3, Guhle gets a goal. There's a lot to talk about on this edition of Habs Digest. Hello, bonjour, ahoy, and welcome to today's game reaction edition of Habs Digest. I'm your host, Josh Gosse, alongside my co-host, Jesse Poirier. And quickly, before we get into the video, hit subscribe. We're almost at 4,500. If we can get to 5,000, somehow by the end of the season, we'd really appreciate it. So if you like the videos and haven't hit that button yet, do it now. We'd love it if you did. Jesse, that was, I didn't expect that, especially after the first period. It was 2-2 after the first, a couple nice goals, one questionable one from Columbus, but two nice ones from Montreal, the Hoffman snipe, and a Newland snipe on an odd man rush. But after that first period, things went crazy. The Habs score 4 times in the second. I have a theory about why Columbus looked so bad tonight. I saw a graphic. I think the Sharks passed them in the tanking race. I think the Sharks now have the number 1, or at least had the number 1 chance at the number 1 overall pick. So maybe Columbus threw this game on purpose. I don't know. It's just me tossing that out there. But man, what were your thoughts on this crazy game?
I think the real reason that we won this game tonight, Josh, was we were just going hard to the net all game long. And I think that was the real common denominator on pretty much all of our goals is either we're going to the net hard or we're creating traffic in front of the net. So I thought everything, we were just really driving net front. So it was a really great strategy, really great effort from the boys tonight.
Yeah, they did everything right, and this Montreal game plan of playing fast, the amount of odd man rushes that the Habs created that led to goals tonight was ridiculous and plays exactly into Coach Marty's plan. Even the power play didn't look too bad tonight. Then again, it's against Columbus. It felt like Columbus was just letting Montreal get whatever they wanted. I mean, in the first period, it was a little closer. I will definitely say Montreal looked like the better team, even though it was tied after the first 20 minutes. But coming to that second period, every time Montreal had the puck, it felt like they could get in the zone without any pressure, and they could send the puck around, a couple great passes before even getting off a shot every single time. I don't know. I feel like this is almost a good practice game. It feels almost insulting to say that to Columbus, but in a game like this where Columbus has no incentive to win and Montreal still likes to get their young guys some run, do you think this can just help the guys gain some confidence? Because it felt like every single player had a good game tonight.
Definitely, it definitely gives a lot of confidence to our players, but, we made a group effort and a real group decision to take control of this game after that first period because, it's definitely, like you said, Josh, I agree that we were the better team after the first period, but it was tied 2-2.
It was.
And still with, it could have still went either way. We said, we're going to take control of this game. We're going to play our style of hockey, of course, great effort tonight from HP, just on all areas of the ice, just showing that he's a really dynamic player. He can play shorthanded, he can play on the power play, he can play on pretty much any line. So I think, just his overall effort, that type of work ethic tonight is really what was the difference maker.
That work ethic from him, that line in general, Suzuki, Hoffman, Harvey, Pinard. I think Hoffman ended up with, a goal and 2 assists maybe tonight. Suzuki with a goal, 3 assists, and Harvey Pinard with the hat trick in 1 period. First Habs rookie to get a hat trick in 1 period in over 70 years. Last guy, Dick Gamble. So crazy cool name, but Harvey Pinard making some Habs history there. Yeah, it was just amazing, and I wanted to talk a bit about Mike Hoffman too. Of course, he took that cross-check in their last game against the Bruins, or a couple games ago, whatever, and he looks bloody. I mean, he still has that lower cage on, but he had a great snipe in the first period that brought some life back into the building, and his passes tonight were awesome. Have you been impressed with Hoffman over the last couple weeks? Because I feel like he's kind of going a bit unheralded in this recent stretch.
It's true, especially after that last game against the Bruins where he did get that cross-check to the face from AJ Greer. Unfortunately, only a 1-game suspension. I definitely feel like it should have been more.
Yeah.
But I would have to say that my respect definitely grew. Just coming back, Mike Hoffman coming back in that game, after taking Lord knows how many stitches to the face. And even his effort level, just the last couple of games. So as a result, he's kind of looking like ROBO-COP Hoffman out there with the supervisor kind of around his face and everything like that. But honestly, he's just been playing great all around, like you mentioned. But it was really a group effort tonight, as well, because as you saw, it was a great goal from Hoffman on that first one, but it was created from all that space from Matheson where he's doing that drop pass, but then he's also going towards the net.
Mm-hmm.
So clearing a lane, for him while also, creating a screen at the same time. Hoffman taking full advantage of that right down Broad Street and just scoring a beautiful goal.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff from Matheson tonight that, whether you saw it or not, he was doing a lot of great stuff. I mean, of course, he had that amazing pass to Hoffman that led to that first goal, that amazing rush where he almost scored himself that led to Harvey Pinard's first goal on the rebound. But he creates so much offense for Montreal, but not only just with his puck movement and his skating. There were some times in this game, like you said, where he kind of that time skated forward to kind of block off the view. And later in the game, there was an odd man rush for the Habs going the other way. I don't think it led to a goal, but the announcers pointed out that on the replay, you could see Matheson skating just slightly in front, almost cutting off the Blue Jackets player, not touching him, just getting in front of him to slow him down, to allow the Habs to break out even better. It's just like these smart, brilliant plays from Matheson, who continues to show like this guy is one of the better defensemen in the league as of late, at least. I'm not going out and saying he's a top 5 defenseman in the NHL, because no, but as of late, like his play has been at that top level. Harvey Pinard was amazing, but Jesse, Nick Suzuki, this game is nothing without him either. Some beautiful, beautiful passes, beautiful setups. The chemistry he has with pretty much anyone you put on his line is phenomenal. What do you think about his almost like transferability to like different lines, different schematics? He was playing like net front role on the power play, which is something that he usually doesn't do. His ability to just play different roles with different players, to me, is maybe one of his best attributes.
Absolutely, and we're starting to see some good chemistry on that first line with Harvey Pinard and even with Hoffman. And now over the last couple games where it's definitely building, and that's what you want to see. That's what we were questioning earlier on the year is, like a true 1C, he should be able to elevate the play of anybody who he's playing with. And we were wondering, is he doing that? But no, he's answered the critics that yes, he absolutely can do that, because HP, he's not putting up these numbers that he has been if it's not for Nick Suzuki, and Nick Suzuki's really helping him a lot, because he's proving that, Harvey Pinard, that it's not a fluke anymore, that he's just a really talented, hard-working hockey player. And but I think that definitely Nick Suzuki's bringing out the best in him. But it's so nice to see him get his 23rd goal of the season as well. He's just racking up the points over the last couple games. And I wanted to ask you, Josh, just regarding Nick Suzuki. So we got 9 games left now. He has 23 goals now. How many goals do you think he'll end up with on the season?
9 games left. I'm not gonna go bold. I'm gonna say he's gonna end with 25 on the dot. I feel like as you get in those last few games, the coaches are going to start running your top lines a little bit less, and even if maybe rest him for a game, whatever. Suzuki's not the kind of guy that'll rest, like sit out a game, but he might play like 15 minutes or something in one of these last few games. I think he gets a couple more. I think he sits at that beautiful number 25. I think he ends up with probably 66, 67 points, which will be a new career high. He tied his career high tonight, I believe, with 61, so he'll set a new career high in points, playing with some crazy other line mates. I'm saying 25. Do you got a more bold prediction, or what do you think?
27.
27.
I'm saying 4 more goals, 9 games to go. Definitely doable. I think he can do that.
I think it's doable. I mean, especially how he's been playing as of late. He's been shooting the puck a bit more. Even that break tonight, I mean, he squeaked him through Michael Hutchinson. Of course, a guy a lot of Habs fans are familiar with, watching him play on the Leafs, as some of my Leafs fan friends like to call him Mr. Saturday Night, which just rots me to no end that they're calling him that instead of this guy. But it's funny. The guy had a .750 save percentage along with Elvis Merzlikins tonight, who unfortunately went out injured. Merzlikins has had a tough few weeks, tough few years, really. You feel bad for the guy, not in a great situation. Of course, the Kivlenix thing, and his grandmother passed away, all this stuff. So hopefully he's not injured too bad for Columbus. But yeah, Montreal certainly took advantage, and even in that third period, Jesse, we spoke a bit about the Galley goal in the second period, right in the slot, exactly where you want it. And there was even a goal from that fourth line, Belzile and Tierney, a give and go that kind of went weird. Tierney gives it to Belzile, and as Belzile's trying to feed it back in front to Tierney, it goes right in. I think Andrew Peeke has it on his stick. Tierney slaps the stick with his stick, and it goes in. It ends up being an unassisted goal for Belzile. It's a great night when that's your 7th goal of the night. You're in the third period, but even the fourth line just feels like they cannot be stopped.
Yeah, all lines were definitely rolling tonight. It seemed like we couldn't really do anything wrong, but I think it's good habits that we've been building upon as well. And like we mentioned, just getting a couple skilled players back on top of those good habits, that's equaling some very good results right now. So I'm just happy with the overall effort, because it's really easy to kind of mail it in, especially what I was happy about, Josh, is like we've been really playing well against good opposition lately in the Boston Bruins and in the Tampa Bay Lightning. But I wanted to see tonight, are they going to play down to their competition in this game? And we see the fact that they were able to stick to their standards and stay to the brand of hockey that's led them to be, somewhat successful, relatively successful of late, I think was really nice to see and really important for this team as we're growing.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, right? They say the best teams dominate the teams they're supposed to dominate and also play at a high level of competition against their contemporaries. And Montreal, if you didn't know, like if you just looked at their games over the last week or two, you'd say they'd be maybe solidly in a playoff position. But then you look at their roster, you look at their record, and no, they're one of the bottom feeders with a borderline AHL team, and they are performing so much better than we could have ever expected. What a night. 4 points for Suzuki, 3 assists for Matheson, and the guy, Harvey Pinard, hat trick in 1 period. Just really a historic night, and it's a night that I think a lot of us are going to remember and a lot of us are happy about as the season comes to a close. Unfortunately, Columbus does take a notch out of the team tank. Jesse, I mean, like I said earlier, I feel like Columbus had zero incentive to win after the Sharks passed them in the tankathon. But hey, some good news. Florida, I believe, lost tonight. So, I mean, that's something, right? Habs are getting closer to that first pick. I mean, you've been holding true to that top 3 pick. Even after tonight's big win against Columbus, you still holding true to that?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I think, we'll definitely have some good luck from the hockey gods kind of coming up. We're already pretty close. I like where we're at. I don't see us maybe getting too much more, but I think we'll definitely get a little bit of help, and we're going to get a great player coming up on, I believe it's May 8th, that draft, so I can't wait for that.
Yeah, I think May 8th is the lottery. I could be wrong. We'll
exactly.
Have to check. Yeah, so we'll be knowing. Yeah. We'll be knowing roughly who we're getting at that point. But yeah, I'm excited. It's just always cool to get a game like this. Top 3 pick coming our way. You heard it here first. Habs or Panthers pick. Who knows? Maybe both jumping up. So anyway, we'll be doing, I'm sure, a live stream or something for that. That'll be super exciting. But in the meantime, that'll do it for this game reaction edition of Habs Digest. If you enjoyed, leave a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Help us hit 5,000 subs before the season is out. We would love if you guys could help us out with that. I'm Josh Gosse for my co-host Jesse Poirier. We'll catch you in the next one.